Welcome to the Sensual Canvas, a soft landing space where creativity flows and presence becomes art. This season, I'm joined by creators, feelers, and soulful storytellers, each exploring the richness of self expression and sensual living. So take a deep breath in, settle in, and let's begin. I'm here joined on the Sensual Canvas to talk to a good friend of mine, Marte Dahl. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So it's been so fascinating to see your art journey. And I think it's so incredible that in your own way, sprouted your own artistic journey, alongside me. I feel like we were both very quiet about our art. And then once I was like, yeah, I create art, I found out you also create art. I was like, what? I was like, this is so cool. And the fact that now we're doing a program together and we live in totally different countries on different sides of the world. I still feel like I'm growing alongside you. So it's so awesome to have you here and to talk about that journey with you. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, thank you. Well, you were the one who inspired me to start the Milan Art Mastery Program. So thank you for that. I'm still enjoying it. Although I've taken a little break as it's summer holiday and I've had too many commissions right now. So it's a good thing. But yeah, the journey started. I always loved to be creative. I've always loved it. And I painted a lot. I think it was like 14 years ago. And then I stopped because I started working and life happened. And I had some small side projects like making jewelry or making cards. But then with the burnout a few years ago now and healing from that, like we started doing some art stuff together and I started drawing a lot again. So it's starting to find back to my creative journey. And then I visited my great aunt. I think it was Easter last year. Yeah. And I saw a lot of her paintings hanging around her house because she's very creative as well, very good at interior design. So I just, remembered I tried to replicate her paintings before, and then I went home and started to try to do it again. That's where it started. And I figured out that now there's so much stuff on YouTube and free videos everywhere. So I started watching a little bit here and a little bit there. And then suddenly I made what I would say a masterpiece, a small one, but it was very good compared to what I've done before. And then I started to look into this a bit more and testing out a little bit of styles. And suddenly I just had to paint all the time as much as I could. So we had our living room cluttered with my painting stuff for half a year. And because I got so obsessed and I really wanted to do this. And then we decided to clean out one room in the basement and just make space for my art so I can have all my stuff there. I don't have to worry about cluttering the living room anymore. And it's all there. If I want to paint, I can just go down and paint. Everything is there. So, and then we started the program with me a few months after you, I think. And now it's piling up with pictures and commissions. And I haven't put out much for sale yet, though. I'm a little bit slow on the marketing side, more like loving the creating part. It will come in time.
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same way when it comes to the piling of paintings going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many paintings right now. And it's not like they're all like masterpieces in my eyes. But from it, I'm seeing all these different techniques that I'm learning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that before, or I refined that now. And so to see all these different like things, I'm like, yes, I want to keep going. I want to just keep creating. So I can totally relate to that. I feel that like I'm similar too on the marketing side of like my paintings. I think the creative process is so sacred to me that I just like create, that my brain doesn't really yet quite know how to go into like, okay, like now you're going to sell this piece and now it's going to be priced and where is it going to go, and all these different questions that I never asked myself before when I was painting and drawing art. I was just making it for the heck of it, you know? So now, like, do you take time like for your own, like, just free spirited painting, or is it just very much like technical, like when you paint?
Oh, I've come to love a process that's very free spirited. It's not in the mastery program, but it's been in one of the master classes that we have access to. So I really love to just bring a couple of colors, inks, alcohol inks, sprays, stencils, and so on. Just go all wild. I love that stage of a painting. Just create a very abstract, whatever it is you feel for background, and that part is very freeing. I could create dozens. I have several backgrounds waiting to be refined or get a motive on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that part.
Same here.
I'm not such a fan of doing super realistic paintings. I have one commission I'm working on. It's supposed to be quite realistic, and it takes a lot of time to do it that way, and I don't get the freedom that I would want.
The realism, it's interesting because when I'm in different mediums, I'm more comfortable like with certain like mediums, like with charcoal. Oh my gosh, I could sit with charcoal all day and just like refine until like it just looks like a hyper realistic like bead of water, like, you know. But when it comes to painting, I'm still learning about, you know, the different techniques when it comes to laying paint. And so I think that when I do the realism in paint, it's a little bit different. I kind of challenge, I'm like battling my left side of my brain a lot when it comes to
definitely.
that. And I'm like, oh no, it has to be this way. And then I overwork it. I blend too much. And I'm like, like
I am guilty of blending too much. The first portrait I ever tried to do, it was acrylic first and then refined in oil. But yeah, I was blendy.
Yeah. What did you say?
It still looks good, but it's not. I really like when you can see the brush strokes and so on. But I have a long way to go there to like be bold enough to leave the brush strokes.
Yeah. I feel like also when I first heard her say, don't be blendy, smoothie.
Yeah.
I literally was like, okay, dab. Like just, and then that's not a technique either.
Stab.
You stab. Exactly. I'm learning that about myself. Like I guess having that awareness is just the first part of like this whole like creative process.
Yeah.
But I do too. I love that very free flowing, just like create from that like state. And so even yesterday, I just like randomly like decided, you know, I'm going to go on an Instagram live and I'm just going to like share like what this process is to just like be like, you know, free flowing. And I love creating art from that and sharing it from that place, you know, because it's very raw. It's very like unscripted.
I got to watch it because I was texting you at the same time, and suddenly I got the pop-up that you're live. So that was cool. And I really love the cap you made, because I've been thinking about maybe I should do some fun stuff with some clothing.
Yeah.
So
honestly, like it's all like a realization to me that I have all these like places to create art, but then why am I limiting myself to just like a canvas? You know, who says like I only have to paint like on a canvas? Like I can paint on whatever the heck I want. And so yesterday I literally had my cap on and I was like, why not? Like this cap is so cute. It's so blank. And I just like threw it down and I was like, I just felt like it was just free flowing out of me. So yes, I highly recommend just like messing around with like your clothing.
This reminds me of we went to Denmark last week on holiday, and we went to a museum in Copenhagen who exhibited the street art and the street art history. So like old school tagging, but more like the history and up to Banksy and all of these things. So
Yeah,
kind of interesting how it's developed and suddenly turns into quite beautiful art in the end.
right. Yeah, and so many different forms, right? Like there's probably so many different types of street art out there. The first thing that comes to my head is like graffiti, like when you think of street art, but it's evolved like so much. Like we've like kind of like dropped off that narrative of it just being like tagging.
Sabotage. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just fascinating stuff. And now these types of individuals who are labeled that way are now being like, you know, commissioned for like hundreds and thousands of dollars, like for huge murals, you know? So it's incredible stuff. What did you see like that spoke to you most?
I don't remember the artist, but I saw one. It was actually a painting, but he had painted it or in a wall as well, though. Yeah, almost the same picture, but it was a turtle, of course. Very pretty turtle, sea turtle. I think it was flowing out of a pipe-ish, like street background. Was like industrial street, and then another beautiful, colorful turtle swimming. I really love that one. There's a female artist, Bambi, I think, making very political street art, like female and political. Well, most of the street art or that kind of street art is political inspired. So
yeah, definitely. It's a statement piece because they know that people will see it because it's out on the street to be seen. Yeah, I see some really beautiful pieces sometimes, like just like huge on walls, like in like LA, even locally, like where I used to live, they have like this giant wall, and I'm so glad that they finally had someone like paint on it. But it's like a painting of like a woman, and it's just like so like sensual and surreal. So it's so nice to see that they're starting to incorporate more art like locally
instead of a gray wall and
just
art to the people.
Just bland white wall. It's like it's an invitation when I see a wall like that. So sensuality, what is it to you? What does it mean to you?
First thing that pops into my mind when you say sensuality is slowing down, taking your time to sense, feel, smell, listen. Yeah, it's just like smell is quite important to me, and I have this perfume-ish that I bought in Edinburgh, and when I smell it, it's like fills me with this good feeling, and I feel sensual when I wear it, and it's like, yeah, it's just it's hard to explain, but that smell is very important. But slowing down and just taking your time to feel and sense. If it's a touch or the clothing you have, or the breeze on your skin, that is sensuality for me.
It sounds like it's a presence of self, like it's like you're coming into yourself, like, and just like being
in the moment. Because we're so busy all the time, and I am guilty of not taking a break. So I was
Mm.
painting earlier today and had some music on, and suddenly I actually paid attention to the song and I started crying. I was like, what is
Oh my.
happening? Oh, it's because I haven't taken a break and just the time to feel
Mm.
and be. Even though I was painting, but my mind is working all the time. So
Mm.
taking time to be.
Do you feel like there are certain like approaches to art that feel more sensual than others for you?
Mm. Painting lips feels very sensual to me,
Ooh.
but I'm also been very scared of it. So I don't know if there's something there. But I think maybe because I never really had luck making them look good for them practicing. But there's something about painting lips that feels very sensual. So I've been
Mm.
doing some aquarels with women with quite huge lips, and just to get it through my system and see what comes out.
Mm. I'd love
And
to see
I am
those.
painting a couple that's kissing right now, so that's very interesting.
Woo! Have you ever painted anything like that before?
Never. I was so scared to start, but it wasn't. Yeah, I didn't think when I accepted, I was like, oh shit, they're actually kissing. This is going to be interesting. Because I've only painted people faces very, normal, not a lot of emotion
Uh-huh.
showing. But this
Yeah.
picture has so much love, so
Mm.
whew, I hope I can get the love through.
I can kind of already feel it, like with like how you're sharing it with me. You're like, ooh, like they're
Mm,
kissing.
yeah. It's a wedding
I,
present for that couple, so it's going to be interesting.
oh my gosh, that's gonna be so magical. They're gonna love it. Honestly, like when I've gifted art, like even when I'm like, oh, it's whatever to me, it's so like it means so much like to the individual. Like they can
Yeah.
feel how much you care and how much you put that effort in. So that's going to be amazing. I want to see it when you're done with it.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'll send you a progress picture after this.
yes, yes, I would love to see it. This like topic about like sensuality, like and art, do you feel like it's a form of your self-expression? Or do you feel like there's other ways that you like express yourself?
Um, if I paint from my heart or from me, yes, it's a form of self-expression. And I really want to do mermaids and like
Mm.
more women, but not when I'm doing like the class stuff, because that's not my ideas. It's someone else,
Mm.
and then it doesn't feel like me, and I have a little bit resistance. But then remember, it's just learning a technique, and I don't have to be perfectionist doing these things. But when I get to do things my way with the things
Yeah.
I want to paint, it's very much different. And then as we go on, I learn that I can add some stuff on my own. I can do my twist on things. So
That's the best part is like knowing that like it's not just this way and only this way. And that
mm,
the subject matter can eventually be whatever the heck we want. Like we may be learning how to lay paint this way, but then imagine like after we have like learned this technique, how we put it into our own like form of subject matter. What type
mm,
of subject matter are you feeling called towards right now? Like for yourself, like not for a program or for sales, like just for yourself.
for myself, yeah, as I said, really want to do a mermaid painting,
Mm,
and I
right.
do love painting animals as well, animals in nature. But luckily, we have some of that in the program, so that I already
Yeah.
get that. But
So
I
like
don't know. I
aquatic,
have some aquatic, yeah.
yeah.
The mermaid with aquatic would be very nice, and I have some ideas, not really sketched out in my head, but yeah, some women, not just faces, but I don't know. I have this one where I want her water to turn into a waterfall, her hair to turn into a waterfall, and have this many like crazy ideas, but I just don't have the techniques to let it come out. But I want like to combine realism and fantasy and do a little combination of that. But I do like painting women, very general subject. Also, not only the beautiful parts. Some I think there's some of the darker sides I also want to paint, but I haven't dared to do it. Like this, a little bit more scary, because I've heard that these things don't sell. But I mean, do I paint for me or do I paint for
just do it
for someone to buy? Yeah.
Honestly, like when I think back to when I was just sketching like for myself, like as a teenager, I remember just allowing myself to just go into my sketchbook and create whatever the heck I wanted. It wasn't like coming from like, oh, I have to be creating, you know, from a happy place. Like it could have been like a range of like whatever I was feeling. And so I remember how like I went through my sketchbooks like quite recently, and I had all these images of very dark things. And for a young kid, you're probably looking at that, you're like, what's going on in her mind? Like, but it's actually like it wasn't necessarily what's happening up here. It's what I was feeling like within, you know, and how I interpreted that. So I had like some sketches of like demons, and like they have like their horns and their massive wings, and like, and then there's some subject matter in it that's like innocence as well, like so I had like that like play of like the two, and I didn't really know like what the heck like it was meant to mean. I just only knew like what it was like to like what it felt like to create it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
understand.
love to like see you explore that. And you know, I know it's also like a very private, you know, thing that happens like with an artist. Like some things are just for the artist, but then other times we're like, no, like I want to share like this is something to share. I follow an account on Instagram, and this artist, she's kind of local, but she shares some pretty dark like art. And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, ooh, like that feels, you know, it saddens me, or it makes me think about things that, you know, maybe you don't want to bring up. Like she has like content around like survivors of the Holocaust, and they're still in like a very like trapped state. And so just like different things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't particularly want to paint that for myself, but I could see how in painting that, just moving that energy through, it could come to something else, you know, maybe something that needs to be felt. So
It's a
makes
way
sense.
of processing
Yeah.
and getting your feelings and emotions out.
Yeah.
I remember being very angry one day, and I just went down to my painting room and took some charcoal and just sketched and went all over it. Doesn't look like anything, but it felt very freeing to do it. So it helped a lot to just get the energy out. And
I really like, I really think that the work that I want to ultimately do is about that type of energy that just lets you just free flow and just create, like show up like to the canvas, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be like an actual canvas. It could be paper, it could be, you know, a garment. It doesn't matter, but that you're actually allowing yourself to just create whatever the heck like is coming to you right there in that moment, like to be like yourself. Not, oh, when I have this hyper realistic like skill, then I can, you know, create whatever I want. It's actually create whatever the heck you want, and you'll find that the refinement will come from that energy as well. So yeah. Did you sketch like as a young kid?
I drew a lot. It was mostly elves and dragons and fantasy stuff. You know, reading Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I've seen your
Uh,
paintings like with the dragons, and I'm like, how does she do that? Oh my gosh. Like, I swear, I think like one day I need you to design me a dragon and I will tattoo that shit on my body. Like, your dragons are so beautiful. First time
but
I
they're
saw it,
just
I was
this is
like,
just small tricks in the paintings.
yeah, but you like do it
But
in such a way that like just makes them look like they're just like
well,
ethereal and just like actually like there in the painting. I'm like, this is so
mm,
cool. I guess it's also because I don't really paint fantasy, so I'm fascinated by like that type of like subject matter, that type of, just the way
mm.
that you're like creating it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Like,
Yeah, thank you. I've been thinking maybe I should bring more fantasy elements into my art because that's deep in my core. I've always been a huge fan of fantasy. I still listen to fantasy audiobooks or read fantasy books, and it's still dragons and elves and things like that. So why not bring it to the canvas as well? Not
yes.
yeah. So as a step further. Problem is that it's hard to find a reference photo for that creature that you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
draw or paint. Although, of course, a lot of people have already made stuff on Pinterest, but it's like I don't want to steal other artists' like expression, but I need some.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of inspiration to find. Speaking of, was setting up a. I might be painting a mural next week.
Oh my God, congratulations.
So
That's so
yeah,
incredible.
well, yeah, thank you. That's gonna be interesting. So I was putting together a source, and then I want to have a phoenix and a kraken. It's like
Dude, that is so cool.
so getting those things, like finding the good enough reference to the style I want, and then make it my style, and yeah, that's gonna be
That
interesting.
is so cool. Oh my gosh. Wait, what inspired you to do like the Kraken and the Phoenix? Did they ask for that?
Oh, it's actually for my boyfriend's brewery. They're making a pop-up bar
That's so
in
cool.
city center, and they have one wall that is like, Marte, if you want to paint something here, you can feel free to paint something. All they require is like it's in the style of the brand.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have some ocean wave. They have a wave like on the etiquette, and yeah. So it's like an ocean wave, and then they have had some mythical creatures on their different types of bears. So it's like a phoenix is not exactly the same as they have, but they do have a kraken and something. So I was like,
Oh.
phoenix and a kraken seems nice. And I also saw back to Copenhagen when we went at a restaurant, there was suddenly a big mural, and they had this big wave and orange birds and some of the whales swimming in the air and so on. I was like, this is almost the same that I want to paint on your walls. It's like, I have to take a picture. I don't know who the artists were though, or is. So that's gonna be very interesting.
Gonna be incredible. And the way that like I'm envisioning it already, it's like they're battling like the Kraken and the like Phoenix, but that's where my brain goes. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't think of any battle, but we'll see. And I have to redo my source because suddenly I had a bigger wall to fill.
nice.
So hopefully I will get it done because their opening is in the beginning of August. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
how exciting. And you have to be done before then?
I don't have to be, but then I will have to paint while people are watching. But that could be a
Ooh.
thing as well, though. If I've done most of the basic works, watching me paint details is fine.
Thinking back to my early days, and I really didn't like people watching me. Like for me, like when I would paint, it was a very private, like maybe it's also the things that I was painting, but very, very sexual, sensual, like,
But you did start to share them though, so
I know, right? Finally,
they,
eventually.
mm,
But like now I'm like, oh yeah, like it feels so much more different sharing that process than like when I was younger and I used to paint. So would you feel like nervous, like being in front of all those people, or you'd feel like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, like having an audience?
I think I would feel pretty nervous, but I hopefully have gotten a little bit better with the imposter syndrome. I've worked through it a little bit because the painting I'm working on now, I'm really breaking a lot of fears, so overcoming a lot of fears. So I believe that I will do my best. I answered her, and now I'm starting to believe in my skills that I'm able to go through with it. So, but yeah, speaking of not wanting people to watch, I haven't done many reels yet, but I want to. It's just a hassle of setting things up. But the first time I decided to paint my process, I felt I was doing the splashy, watery inks and stuff, and alcohol ink. And I noticed I felt a little nervous, and I was like, oh no, I'm overdoing it, overthinking. And then I take up the alcohol ink. I opened the bottle. What I didn't know that I opened the bottle fully instead of just a tip to drip. So splashing onto the canvas like a big part of alcohol ink, and I'm just, oh
Like,
no. Yeah, great.
Right. Thanks, universe. I got it.
I was a bit too nervous. So I have filmed some process, but I haven't bothered to actually clip it to a real length. So
You posted that one though, right? Like
I posted that one though, and it turned out great in the end.
Yeah.
Nothing from the background is left. Almost nothing, but some of it.
Like for me, I love seeing that process. I think we see so much like things on like social media that are like perfected and just edited so nicely. And then when I saw that video of yours, I was like, yes, like she put it out there. Like I was so happy to see that you still like put that out there, even though it was an accident or like a
accident.
yeah. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like it's so beautiful, like, and it's raw and real. Like I want to see more of your reel, like for sure.
Yeah, I wanna do more of that because I don't like it all being perfect all the time, and because now with the painting I'm painting now, it's a commission, so I've been posting like every step. So yeah, it's a commission, and yesterday I've been sending like step-by-step pictures, and I ended at the ugly stage yesterday. I did take a picture, but I just like the ugly stage, and I was like, oh shit, no, I need a break now, and I can't do this anymore. I can't pull this off. This is gonna be a total failure. I can't send this. And then this morning I said, just refined a little bit, and it's actually starting to look like a person.
That ugly stage is so like it messes with you. You're like, I suck.
So hard.
Like this is hideous. Like, oh my god. I totally get it.
But we have to go through it, and the more you go through it, the easier it gets. Now I knew, okay, this is the ugly stage, but still those thoughts come up that I won't be able to pull this off. But it's starting to look good now, though. So
it's exciting when it finally starts like feeling like you're
like, together, looking like something,
like something, not like a blob. You're like, okay. Are you working in oils for this commission?
No, acrylics, since I have to send it, and I have a very short timeline. So I might do a glazing and oils at the end.
Nice.
And it dries very slow in Norway. Maybe not this week as it's so hot, but yeah.
Yeah, the
So
drying
I'm
time.
afraid if I did it all in oils, it wouldn't be the drying time. So
Yeah. It's nuts like how long oil like takes to dry or
dry.
cure. To cure.
Yeah, cure.
I didn't know like the difference between like, you know, oil paints and acrylics and gouache, and I had no idea like oil based and like water based. And so when I would paint, like when I was younger, I literally still to this day, I have a painting at my mom's house, and it's like of koi fish in like this water that's just like so many different colors. And I swear to you, I don't know whether eventually that thing will chip like at some point, because I'm pretty sure I put like oil, acrylic,
Acrylics.
oil, like
Oh,
wash,
oh,
everything. But it's been like, how long has I think I've had it over like 10 years, like
oh,
that
wow.
painting. And it even has like fabric pieces that I literally hot glued onto the canvas, and they're popping out like of the
Hmm.
canvas, and they're still fine. And I'm like, all right, like who
Maybe you
knew?
did something correct. Yeah, but I've never seen or I've never tried to do acrylics over oil, but I know you're not supposed to do it. But I
Yeah.
never, maybe I should just take a piece. I have some leftover canvas and just see how long it lasts and see what happens.
Yeah. Like this is my sample piece. I'm just
Yeah.
experimenting. That's so
Uh,
awesome.
no, I learned a lot of all the washes and everything that you're talking about. I never thought about doing it. I think, um, I don't know. It's been so long since I painted earlier. I don't know what techniques I used, but I know I painted some in oil and some in acrylics. I don't
Mm.
think I mixed them ever. No, I kept it separate. I did use the old turpentine to cleanse and dilute. I still had it, and I still have it. I'm gonna throw it away safely. It stinks.
Turpentine?
Yeah, that's what you used to clean the brushes and dilute the oil before they had more eco-friendly and human-friendly
Yeah.
mediums for oils now. So
Yeah, I heard that like terpenoid or something like that, or turpentine, is that what you were saying? That it's like
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
fumy?
yeah,
It's like really fumy, and it's just
yeah. I opened
toxic.
the bottle and I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to find something new, better.
Yeah.
So,
There's other brands out there like that are way more subtle.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I don't want to poison myself and go crazy. I think turpentine isn't. Oh, I think that's a friend told me that it actually destroys the fat around cells. So that's why if you inhale it for too long, yeah, it's not good for you.
oh my goodness gracious. Like I can't believe that that used to be like something that artists used to use like on a just regular basis. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I won't be using any of that stuff. And especially because I have such sensitive skin that if like there's
Mm.
products that, right away my skin just like flares. I'm like, okay, I really can't use this like anymore. Cause then I get like itchy like all over my hands, and then
Yeah.
it's an awful process. So
Have
yeah.
you ever reacted to oil paint?
No.
No.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't think it's the oil paints. I think sometimes
no,
it's the mediums.
mostly it's the mediums. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the cadmium colors. The cadmium itself is very bad, but I don't think you react like to it in the skin. Uh, you can get cancer from it or something.
Yeah. Someone was actually
Thank you.
telling me recently, actually, I went into an art store and he was telling me about like that. I can't remember
Cadmium,
what
yeah,
it is, but it's like in cadmium, like, or
yeah.
cadmium. It is cadmium.
I think it's cadmium. It's a mineral,
Yeah.
and it's very
Toxic.
Very not good for you. Very toxic. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was saying that like if it gets on your skin, like it can cause like cancer or something like that. I'm like, geez, like that's crazy. I had no idea. I can't believe they sell that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, they sell a lot of colors called cadmium blah 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 color and hue, and if it has hue, it's an imitation. It's not actual cadmium in it, as what the guy in the store told me. So if you buy the hue color, and they are much more cheaper, but it is imitations. But I went to an art store in Denmark and to see if they had some brushes I couldn't get in Norway, and then we started talking about oil colors, and then I was asking, do you have some vegan oil colors? It's like, vegan oil colors? Well, no, all oil colors are vegan. I was like, no, they use like horse piss and Indian yellow.
Yeah.
My dear, that's a long time ago. They're basically phasing out all the animal products now. So apparently things are changing because it's too much of a hassle. But you don't know for sure. You have to check your brands.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am too with like the colors. And I found out about the Indian yellow. I hadn't purchased it yet. And then I found out like that they add like some sort of like animal based something. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like something so simple as like yellow. It has like an animal byproduct in it. I'm like, come on, like let's get past this already.
But I found a color that I found very interesting, and this is a little bit morbid history though, and I'll try to keep it short because I don't remember all the details anyway. I saw a color called asphaltum, and I was like, what is this? This is like asphalt gray. And then I Googled it and I started reading about the history of the color.
Yeah.
So back in the day in Egypt where they mummified people, they used bitumen to mummify them. And then they turned like brown blackish. And after a while, when they were somehow they took the rests of the mummies and smushed it into powder and added it to the color. So the asphaltum is originally made out of corpses, human mummified corpses. But the practice was to make the color that way is banned now, though. Luckily.
Oh my gosh, people would do anything like to just get a new color.
Colors. Yeah.
Horse piss, mummified bodies, like anything for the art.
Yeah. But it's less and less of these things now, luckily. But if you really want to stay away from animal products, you have to do your research. So or very toxic ingredients in the colors.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, it's been such a process for me to source like all those different colors, and even like down to my paintbrushes. I really like have just been looking for only, and even that like makes me feel a little bit annoyed that they don't have like a non like animal byproduct, but still a natural bristle, like something that's like, I don't know, some sort of fiber, I still haven't come across something like that.
Oh, actually, I haven't checked because I have some paints. They say synthetic. Yeah. Paintbrushes, I mean. Yeah, synthetic, but made for oil. It's a little coarse, but I think it's still just plastics, sadly.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would love to see some natural fibers.
Right? Same.
That's not animal.
Yeah.
Like bamboo would work. Like you have the whisker for matcha tea, very fine bamboo bristles, and if you get like even finer bristles, that could work as a paintbrush.
Right? I mean, like, how many plants are out there that actually have that like natural fiber as well, that like we could even spin into like a synthetic fiber, but like natural, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Yeah, yeah.
get a little bit annoyed that they only have either like plastic or it's the like hog or squirrel or whatever. Like, are they actually
Mm.
like taking like squirrel tail? Like, what the heck? Like, that's so sick.
Yeah, when I was in Denmark, and I was looking for a pencil. She recommended one. It was synthetic, and she told me about this pencil that they used to be made out of mongoose fur,
Mongoose?
but
No.
it's not allowed to make those types of pencils anymore, thankfully. So it's been banned. So now they make it synthetic, and apparently very good quality. I got to feel one of them, and it was wow, very soft and very. They worked hard to imitate it, but it's still I think it's synthetic. Yeah.
Still plastic. Yeah.
Mm.
It's something that I'm like, I have it on like my 50 list or like 100 list of things that I want to do. I want to create like an
Mm.
all vegan like line of like paints and paintbrushes. That way it's
Yes,
just like,
I mean,
just buy the kit. Like, here it is.
yeah,
I did all the research for you. It's perfectly packaged.
I will
And
buy
aesthetic. Yes, my first sale. Thank you so much for coming on to talk to me, and thank you so much for putting your art out there into the world and being expressive and vulnerable and just sharing like your whole process. And as a fellow artist, like, I know that it's not always easy to like share, but I want you to know like I'm watching and I see like all the beautiful like work that you're creating, and you inspire me as an artist to just like try new mediums and to even like try new subject matter too. So I want to thank you so much for just being on this journey like alongside me.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for inspiring me as well and encouraging me to keep going and joining the program. Put myself out there and not
Definitely.
just get stuck in my basement painting alone with a cat. I
Same.
have my cat.
And I look forward to seeing all the incredible fantasy art that you end up creating, and I'm excited to see that. Well, this concludes the Sensual Canvas podcast for today. I want to thank the incredible Marte Dahl for joining me and opening up just the conversation. And as a fellow artist, like, it feels so comforting to know that there's someone out there also having these types of struggles with their art, with sourcing their materials and all this different stuff. And it's so comforting to know that I'm not alone on this journey, that there's people out there like me who have this type of relationship with their art where it's like, will I be putting this out there? What will people think of it? And then ultimately just putting it out there anyways, and sharing it and being just raw and authentic. And so I want to just put a light on artists like this, and to also remind others out there that we are all like creatives. We were born as creative beings to create our lives, to create art and music and dancing. And even if you're not putting it out there for everyone to see, it's exciting to know that there's people out there creating this type of energy, and that we're all living in this world to really inspire and to be inspired by each other. So yeah, if you are interested in checking out her work, if you're interested in following her art journey, um, all her information can be found down below. And yeah, if you want to, see more artists come onto the podcast, I want to know, like, what are you interested in seeing? Who are you interested in me bringing on? So yeah, it's been wonderful bringing this conversation to you, and I look forward to what's in store. Thanks, everyone.